I've been homeless before. Once my eyes was open, I was dead set on making my life better.
I'm in the recovery program here at ICS. They've actually saved my life on more than one occasion.
I moved to Seattle to get clean and try and change my life.
Immanuel Community Services is an extension of the ongoing outreach ministry of this congregation. It really grew out of a desire on the part of people in this congregation to minister to and to be a part of this community. They've opened the doors of their church home so that men who are going through a treatment program can live here and have a safe home.
Our 4 programs are designed to help people who are hungry or homeless or trying to overcome addiction. We have a food bank and a community meal that meets people's needs if they're hungry. We have a shelter for men where we have up to 15 men who can stay here as long as they need to in order to recover and get back on their feet. And we feed them, and this is their home. And finally, we have the hygiene center that's open weekdays from 8 to noon. We welcome people, men and women, who are homeless and need a place to rest, place to shower, and a place to have maybe a little coffee and relax.
For people to go hungry in the richest nation in the world seems to be a contradiction in terms and something that needs to be remedied. Food is one of those inherent goods. You give someone food and you're making their life a little better.
Well, I always knew there was a food bank here because you see the line. So I came to the food bank and I got food, and I was really grateful for that food because that was the only food I had.
On food bank days, we take a very clean, quiet room, fill it with tables, fill it with volunteers, fill it with food, and watch hungry people come and shop in a very happy, dignified atmosphere.
All of our food is donated. Food banks thrive on donated food. We're lucky enough that we live in Seattle and that we have a lot of different grocery stores who are willing to partner with us.
When we first started the program, I think our first lunch we served about 75 people, and it just kept growing. This meal has been an education for a lot of people who realize just how much need is out there. We try to serve a variety, and we always have balanced meals.
When a person's homeless, they don't usually get the proper diet. It's usually sugary, starchy foods from the convenience store. And there's no way that you're going to have a good life if you don't have a good diet.
We don't know how many people we have benefited with our programs, but we know that there are a significant number who are no longer on the street, who are no longer hungry.
Somebody told me to get your life back on track, a good thing to do is to volunteer. And my life started getting better, like the first day I started volunteering here. Well, I'm the pantry assistant, so I assist Will in getting all the food together throughout the month.
The volunteers here have been volunteering for years.
Not only does it feed them and fill their stomach, but it also gives them a sense of community and a sense that they are cared for, that they are loved. That is really one of the signature things that ICS brings to this community.
We just want everyone to get fed.
I have a lot of friends who are homeless, who are addicts and alcoholics, who have benefited so much from this program, who have a life today, who have their kids back, or they have their own apartment, they have jobs that they actually like, you know, and they're able to sustain themselves.
I've been here in the shelter since March of 2014. I've made a lot of progress in my life over the past several months. That distorted lens that I used to use to look at myself is gone now. I see myself in a much more realistic light. Some of the changes I'm absolutely astounded with.
The way I benefited from ICS was they were looking for me to be successful as well, you know, so it was like now I'm under the gun, you know, I got to do this thing. And once I was shown the way, then it was like, okay, now the rest is up to me. Now I have a job, I work with Boeing, and the fellowship with the other guys, you know, helped me to stay focused. Their prayers wasn't in vain, you know. I want to show back up and they can see that I'm doing all right.
I've come to a place where I'm able to maintain my inner peace.
This was like heaven compared to the other places I've been.
It can be done, you know, we can have a good life.
As much as we live in the present moment of our circumstances, hope is the thing that best draws us into the next moment and gives us the opportunity to change our thinking and our behavior and ultimately maybe even our circumstances. It's a blessing to be there. It's a blessing to be present with folks that are so very much appreciative of the fact that you've just acknowledged them as a neighbor. You've acknowledged them as a part of the community that we live in. They're a neighbor. They may not have a home that looks like ours, but they are our neighbor.
The church allows us to stay here through the love of the congregation, and we need to treat this place with the same love that they've shown us.
This is home.
I think everybody has a heart. People have a heart for being able to be compassionate and kind to other people. And I think it's just encouraging that heart to be expressed.
It's real satisfying to be a part of the giving wheel of Seattle.
Once we even just set our mind that we will try and do better, doors start opening.